That fish was so big, it nearly sank the boat when I pulled it in. Well, this may sound as an exaggeration, but that's the tall tale. Hello and welcome to season 4 of the Tall Tales contest by Pune Advanced Toastmasters Club. I'm the Chief Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Ankit Kare, and I welcome you all to this online contest. I would like to begin by stating the mission of Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Some rules to be respected during the contest. All the attendees must always mute their audios unless instructed otherwise by the contest chair. Do not share your screen unless asked by the host. Once the contest starts, please turn off your video. There will be a break given in between for you to drink water or stretch yourself. Follow only the suggested naming conventions to rename yourself. Contest officials and role players, role, first name, last name without any special characters. Contestants, your speaking order followed by first name and last name without any special characters. For audience, club, area, first name and last name. Same has been posted in the chat box. Please use emojis to encourage speakers. I wish you all a fantastic contest. Please help me welcome someone who is the chief alchemist at Success Alchemist. He is the only certified scaling up coach in India and helps mid-sized companies achieve rapid growth. He has helped charter more than 20 clubs, including 4 Toastmasters Club for entrepreneurs across Pune and Hubli. Please put your hands together for the president of Pune Advanced Toastmasters Club, DTM Ajay Hiraskar.
Thank you, Ankit, for that wonderful, warm welcome on a Sunday morning. To each and every one of you who've taken off time to attend this contest today, again, good morning and welcome to the Tall Tales contest of Pune Advanced Toastmasters Club. We are indeed fortunate to have so many of you who have taken off time to join us today. And what an occasion it has turned out to be. A journey that spanned so many weeks of careful preparation, planning, and execution, which is coming to fructification today. Now, a lot of people might be thinking about the fact that why is it that we have a Tall Tales contest? Well, as the only advanced club in the city of Pune, we obviously would like to have our own members as well as members of the Toastmasters community growing by exposure to all the various opportunities that are available to grow as a speaker. Now, Tall Tales is obviously not a part of the district contest that we really have, but it is a genre of speaking which we can all learn and grow out of. I'm not going to try to attempt a tall tale speech out here just to entertain you because we have 10 wonderful contestants who are going to do a far better job than I can possibly do. But I can only promise you one thing, that you will be regaled, you will be entertained, and you will go back having learned something out of the process. And that's exactly why we conduct this contest. It is to give an opportunity to the members of this community to grow, to learn, and to build upon skills. And we are so very happy that the organizing team has put in such a lot of efforts to create this wonderful event. And you will obviously give us inputs and feedback after the event is over in terms of how did we really do. A lot of planning, a lot of thought, as a lot of efforts have gone in. So please stay glued to your seats. Enjoy the experience as the event unfolds, and enjoy the experience of listening to tall tales from 10 wonderful contestants. I would like to acknowledge the presence of so many past and present district officers who have also joined us in this meeting today. The list is too long, so I will not get into it, but I will encompass them all by welcoming you also to this session. With that, let's move on and regale ourselves with the 10 contestants. To take the event forward, we have somebody who's going to conduct and be the Sutradhar, the MOC for this entire event. He is a young entrepreneur, young always at heart as well as in body and spirit. And he will take us through this journey and help us to connect. Let's welcome the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Raviraj.
Ravi, you're on mute.
No, please unmute him, please.
Ravi, you're not audible.
Hi, thank you, Mr. President, and welcome everybody. I'm really excited about hosting this event today. And you know why? Look around you. Actually, look in front of you because this is Zoom, my friends. When else will you have a bunch of literally incredible storytellers spinning their unbelievable tales to a gullible audience like you? Ooh, I'm so excited about what's to come. So, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to have three main sessions today. The first of which is the Tall Tales contest itself, where 10 contestants will articulate their imagination through yarns spun exclusively for you, my friends. Next, you'll be treated to a delightful guest speaker and master storyteller who will show us how it is done. And the third part is where you, my friends, will be challenged to demonstrate your ability to spin tales on your feet. Table topics! So we'll end the meeting by announcing the results, felicitating everyone, and thanking the votes. I mean, voting the thanks. But that's not right. I mean, vote of thanks. First, we got to make sure that we are all awake. Because it's no fun listening to these tall tales if you're still sleepy. We might just write them off as dreams, right? And that won't be fair to the contestants. Let's do some exercises to wake up together, okay? Are you in with me? Okay, for this first exercise, I want all of you to practice being really surprised. So when you hear my count of three, put on your most ridiculously surprised expression on your face, okay? One, two, three. Surprised! Excellent. Nicely done. Next exercise is to practice laughing. So whenever you hear a joke, even an attempted joke, okay, you have to laugh. On the count of three, start laughing until I ask you to stop. One, two, three. I haven't asked you to stop. Keep going. That's scary. Great, excellent. Now keep that energy up. Our contestants will really appreciate it. Now take us through the meeting, rest of the meeting. For today's the first of the three sessions, I'd like to invite and introduce our contest chair with Malathi Iyer. Something about Malathi you must really know. You know, she was having an amazing career with Atlas Copco for almost 38 years. Then she joined Toastmasters 3 years ago. She ended up retiring from her job so she can be super active in Toastmasters, and rest of the time when we don't have Toastmasters meetings, she's actually hanging out with friends and family. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Malathi Iyer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi, for that wonderful introduction. Just yesterday, I received an invitation from none other than Professor Dumbledore, the principal of Hogwarts School of Magic. He wanted me to attend the 422nd tournament of the Quidditch World Cup finals in England. So what did I do? I mounted my Nimbus 2020, the sleekest, the swiftest, the smartest broomstick ever in the world. I was there within a couple of hours and had a wonderful time meeting up with my long lost friends, Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron. After a wonderful tournament, I had to rush back to be here as the contest chair to welcome all of you for the Tall Tales contest of Pune Advanced Toastmasters Club. So here I am in the nick of time. So, Mr. President, Chief Judge, Distinguished Toastmaster Mukta Natkar, District Officers, respected panel of judges, assignees, contestants, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Good morning and a very warm welcome to each one of you. Today, 10 finalists from various Toastmaster clubs of divisions C, D, O, P, W will regale us with their tall tales stories. So sit back, my friends, relax, and enjoy a unique experience of captivating adventures with our tall tale contestants. To begin the tall tale speech contest, I would like to read the purpose of the contest as defined by Toastmasters. To provide an opportunity for the speakers to improve their speaking abilities. To provide an opportunity to learn by observing the more proficient speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training. To provide participants with the opportunity to create an original, highly improbable, humorous tale. For the benefit of the audience, I will also take you through some rules of the contest, Tall Tale Speech Contest. To be eligible, a contestant must be a Toastmaster in good standing, of a club in good standing, not presently be an international, district, or area officer, nor have declared the intent to run for such offices. It has been confirmed that all contestants are eligible. All speeches are to be in original. Any quoted material has to be identified. The speech must be of a highly exaggerated, improbable nature and have a theme or plot. Humor and props can be used to support to illustrate the speech. All speakers may stay in the room throughout the contest. The time allotted for the tall tale speeches is 3 to 5 minutes. Any contestant who speaks less than 2.5 minutes or more than 5.5 minutes will be disqualified. The timing cards will be shown as follows. The green card at 3 minutes, the yellow card at 4 minutes. The red card will come up at 5 minutes and remain displayed till the contestant has finished speaking. There will be no indication for going over time. Timing will start with the first verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. There will be 1 minute of silence maintained between the speeches for the judges to mark their ballots. Protests regarding eligibility and originality may be entered only by the contestants or judges to either the chief judge and or the contest chair. Once the results have been announced, all decisions are final. The speaking order of the contestants has already been drawn and is as follows. Contestant number 1, Saloni Randive, Saloni, Saloni. Contestant number 2, Aditya Narayan, Adithya, Contestant number 3, Simmi Preet Kaur, Simmipreet, Simmi Preet. Sonia Manoj, fourth contestant, Sonia, Sonia. Contestant number 5, Ashley Lobo, Ashley, Ashley. Contestant number 6, Shweta Jethani, Shweta, Shweta. Contestant number 7, Alifia Parekh, Alifia, Alifia. Contestant number 8, Khushbu Mishra, Khushboo, Khushbu. Contestant number 9, Tanvi Khair, Tanvi, Tanvi. Contestant number 10, Suyog Vyas, Suyog, Suyog. I request you all to kindly mute your audio and keep your video off if you have already not done so. I think we are ready to start the contest. Timers, are we ready? Chief Judge, Distinguished Toastmaster Muktan Natkar, do we have the permission to start the contest?
Yes, you may.
Our first contestant, Saloni Randive. Saloni, you have 30 seconds to test your audio and video.
Audio check, check. Video check, check.
Great. Can you see the timing cards? Time is
No. I can now.
You can?
Yes.
Okay, ready to go?
Good to go.
Saloni Randive, winner of Tall Tales. Winner of Tall Tales, Saloni Randive.
Yesterday, I won the Tall Tales Championship. It was delightful finally getting certified for my own profession. And when contest chair Toastmaster Marky asked me to share my story to inspire all of you, I just had one demand that I had to be the first speaker. And then after a lot of negotiation, Toastmaster Marty sold it to me for 10 rupees. Good morning, everyone. You all might be wondering, how did I win Tall Tales? Well, it was a journey of years persuading people. I started off my career as a flight attendant at Kingfisher Airlines, and my first flight was to UK. It was a chartered flight, and the passenger carried 8 bags full of cash. He was nervous and he was sweating profusely, so I offered him a drink. And 40 minutes later, here was a 50-year-old man with 60 pegs down, saying that I am going to buy the Kohinoor for the love of my nation. He was Vijay Malia, and he's the most patriotic person when he gets drunk. Anyways, he did buy the Kohinoor and gave it to me for safe deposit in India. The UK government can never release the reports of a stolen Kohinoor out of embarrassment, and I played them very well. On my flight back to India, I reported Vijay Malia's cash transfer ads, took the Kohinoor for myself, and kept the Indian government in darkness forever. But look at the sad irony of it. Just like the Queen of England, I can neither flaunt the Kohinoor nor deposit it. Well, that was my first flight to UK and Vijay Malia's last. The photos and interviews with CBI regarding Malia's case got me so immensely famous that a casting agency approached me for polio ke virudh do boon zindagi ke. But I wholeheartedly recommended that Amit ji be considered. Soon enough, I met the second most significant person, Nirav Modi. I started modeling for Nirav's group of talents for the next couple of months. And I was on the front covers all the time. You see, right here. It was there all the time. And although I was working relentlessly, I was financially broke. So one fine night, I asked Nirav on WhatsApp via text, "Hey Nirav, can you lend me for 2000 rupees?" He did not reply, and I wrongly sent that text to Narendra Modi. And the next day, 2000 rupee note got launched. It coordinated so well, but I was still financially broke. So I approached Punjab National Bank for a loan. But what they said was, "Madam, in order to acquire a loan, you need to have stable income, and you lack that clause. Hence, we deny to lend you any money." They did not lend me a single penny. So I plotted a revenge against Punjab National Bank. I asked Nirav to take a loan for me. He gave me that money. I never returned it. Nirav was zealous. Punjab National Bank fell. And I sit on a heap of 11,000 crores with a Kohinoor in my neck, having fulfilled my revenge. You know, a name holds a lot of power. Nirav's had Modi in it. I just made Modi work for me. After Nirav's dynasty having fallen, I started working as a public representative at Reliance Telecommunications, where I met Anil Ambani. Working there, I also realized how hard it was to win a tall tales if participants were from here. The finance was always exaggerated, and the marketing and operations team was just for humor. But Anil came and told me how much he believed in me. You know, he said, "Saloni, back in 2008, I was the sixth richest person. And look at me today. I do not have a car to drive." Moral of the story: take the audience to a high, show them your charm, and only then let the reality hit. Making it till people know you're faking it. And that's the way you can win at all days. Well, lastly, all this fame and all of these opportunities have given me a route to audio and voice for Corona awareness tune. Give my voice for it. But I wholeheartedly had to pass it to Amit ji because I am busy developing and distributing Corona vaccines. So I don't tell it to everyone. And let's just leave it to another tall tales as to how I got there. I am Saloni Randive, and I am ruling the world. And that's how I won a tall tales. Well, I need to rush now because Prince William is on hold trying to close a deal on the podium. So thank you and have a wonderful day. Over to you, contest share.
We will we will now maintain 1 minute silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Our second contestant, Aditya Narayan. Aditya, you have 30 seconds to check your audio and video.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Yep.
Ready to go? Can you see the
Yes.
timer's cards?
Not yet. It's on red.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
No, it's not visible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Aditya Narayan, how I single-handedly established world peace. How I single-handedly established world peace. Aditya Narayan.
Thank you. Did you know on 15th of August 2020, world peace has been established already, that the war against terrorism ended completely. Contest chair, chief judge, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, a very good morning to all of you. This happened on 15th of August. It was Independence Day holiday, and I was sleeping like any other day, peacefully. And the next moment, I realized there are scared screams and screeches around me. When I tried to open my eyes, I realized that my hands, my legs, everything was tied, and I was blindfolded. So I couldn't even understand what was happening. Making 2 plus 2, 5, I realized I was being carried with few of my friends to a safe haven. And after listening to what they were saying, I realized they were speaking Martian language because it didn't sound like English, and I had studied Martian. After reaching Mars, I realized one Earthling told me that war has been declared over Earth, and the famous kingpin known as Darkseid has taken over the entire world. And we, few selected people from Earth, have been nominated to fight against this dangerous war. I asked him, why us? And he told me that you are the chosen one, Aditya. I asked him, what are our superpowers? Then he started explaining the superpowers being granted to my friends. Some had been given powers of invisibility. Some had powers of shield removal and armor reduction. Some had powers to heal people. I asked him, what are my powers? He just smiled and said, you will know, Aditya, but you are the chosen one. Next moment, I realized there is a huge spike in Pune, our very own city in India. I asked him, should we immediately go there? And he said, of course. So the next moment, I take out my wand and I access my broomstick, Firebolt, faster than Chief Judge's Marathi Iyer's Nimbus 2000. And immediately it comes to me. Along with my friends, we fly over to Pune. And the next scene which we see is horrifying. The kingpin Darkseid has taken over in his custody all the innocent people. There is blood, flesh everywhere. And he's walking and saying, now all of you will put your faith upon me and I will rule this entire world. My invisibility friend couldn't take it more, and he immediately started rushing towards Darkseid. And to our horror, we saw that his invisibility was broken and he was captured by the kingpin. Next moment, my shield regeneration friend was also captured. He couldn't regenerate the health of anyone. And slowly and steadily, everyone was captured. I stay there alone. And Darkseid now spoke directly to me. He said, Aditya, if you want to live come to me and surrender. I had no choice. So I started walking towards him. And out of nowhere, I realized bullets couldn't fire. They were jammed. And the swords and flux rifles, everything was going around me. And with a single swap of my wand, I captured all their guns and they started firing back towards their owners. I reached Darkseid and he was in a horror state. I removed my specs. I took out my magic goggles and looked to him and said, I grabbed him. I spoke directly by looking into his eyes. Your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent. And he relived all the memories of the innocent he had killed. And he lay there like a plank of wood. I took him and threw him to the side. And immediately I was transported to another world. And there was complete white light. And there was God. I asked him, all this is happening really or in my mind? And he said, of course it's happening in your mind, Aditya. But why should that mean it's not real? And then it came back to earth. And that's how I established world peace on 15th of August 2020. Over to you, contestant. Thank you.
We will now maintain 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 3, Simi Preet Kaur. Simi, you have 30 seconds to check your audio video. You're visible, not audible. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, the host just unmuted me. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I visible?
Yes. Can you see the
Okay.
timer's cards?
I can see a blank screen.
Yeah.
If the timer can scroll through the cards, I can just see a blank screen right now. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I can see all of them.
Okay. Simi Preet Kaur, a friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Simi Preet Kaur.
Friends are people who make your problems their own problems. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. I'm sure all of you must be aware of the bliss of having friends in your life. I too have been blessed with a set of friends I'm highly indebted to because they helped me achieve a dream of mine. Let me tell you a story. A few years back, I had a dream. I wanted to go on a world tour. But how could have I done that? I did not have the money. I did not have the means to do so. I did not even have anyone who wanted to accompany me to the tour. So, depressed as I was walking on the side of the road trying to think of a solution to my problem. But just then, I heard someone call my name from behind. I looked behind and zoom! A car stopped right in front of me, and a man emerged from the sunroof. And it was my buddy, Salman Khan. I was so happy to see him. I rushed to him and explained my problem to him. He said, I am going on a world tour. Join with me. I'll pay for you. What's the big deal? Tears filled my eyes. But also, a thought arose in my mind. Salman behind the steering, me cheering. Too much fun. But how could have I refused such a generous offer? So I just hopped into the car and Salman Khan started driving. Steering in one hand, gun in the other. Hood the bung, hood the bung. And when I looked out of the window, I saw he was driving on the footpath. And before I could say anything to him, he already had crashed the car into a tea stall. There went my world tour. Anyway, I rushed to see what happened to the man. And my buddy, Sallu, being used to the habit of hitting and running, just hit and ran. But anyhow, I didn't have time. So I went to see the man and I saw he was crying. My heart melted. But thank God I had completed my Toastmaster's path of persuasive influence. I went up to him and told him, "Don't cry. One day you will fly. You might even become the Prime Minister of India someday." And upon being inspired by my words, that chaiwala became the Prime Minister of India one day. But the true test of his friendship began after that. A few years later, I got a call. "Mitron," and I was shocked. It was my buddy, Modi ji. And he said, "I remember you had a dream of a world tour." And I was shocked once again. And he said, "I am pulling my mobile phone out of my pocket and dialing the French Prime Minister." And that is how, my dear friends, reform became India. Yes, zoom, the jet landed right in front of me. But it was at that moment I realized I forgot the lemon and chili that I had to hang on the jet at home. And there wasn't any grocery shop nearby. How could I fly in a jet that doesn't have any protection from any kind of nazar? There went my world tour once again. But having the big heart that I have, I donated my jets to the Indian Air Force. But I was sad. I was really sad because my world tour dream had crashed. I was so sad that I put up a status on Facebook, feeling sad with 50 others. To which my friend responded, "Don't feel sad. I can help you fulfill your dream. I may not be able to take you to the whole world, but I can bring the whole world to you." And Zoom application was born. Yes, my friend Eric Yuan, he created the Zoom application so that I could fulfill my dream of having a world tour. And yes, I was able to connect to any part of the world through my laptop. In fact, if it weren't for my friend, we wouldn't even be having this contest today. And so, my dear friends, that is why it is always so important to stay in touch with your friends, because a friend in need is always a friend indeed. Thank you. Back to the contest chair.
Thank you. We will now maintain 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Fourth contestant, Sonia Manoj. Sonia, you have 30 seconds to check your audio video.
Hi, I'm audible, I'm visible.
Yes, both. Can see the timer's cards?
Not yet.
Right?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Sonia, Manoj. Sonu, Monu. Sonu, Monu. Sonia, Manoj.
Thank you. 5th February 2006. The day I finally began working at my first job and did not fire my CEO for not welcoming me personally with a garland in his hand. 6th February 2006. The day my parents realized that they no longer need my services and started planning for my marriage. Good morning, everybody. The contest chair just introduced me as Sonia. But let me make a little correction here. I am sexy Sonia. I'm tall, I'm fair, I'm charming, I'm alluring, and above all, have a body statistics of 36, 24, and 36. I'm the only competition to Aishwarya Rai in this entire universe. In fact, I am the one she begged not to participate in the Miss World contest in 1994 for her sake. Today, I shall take you through my marriage journey. My parents asked me if I wanted to have an arranged marriage or a love marriage. Making someone fall in love with me is a cakewalk. But I wanted my parents to feel a sense of achievement. So I said, Babu Moshai, arranged marriage. My father immediately pulled out a new diary, wrote swastika and a prayer under it. Marriages are made in heaven. So, God, please help me get rid of her. Finally, after 6 years of extensive hunt and only 157 rejections to Aishwarya Rai me, my father's prayers got answered, and I got engaged to TDH, tall, dark, and handsome Manoj. Manoj is the only competition to Abhishek Bachchan in this entire universe. In fact, Abhishek Bachchan was second in line of Aishwarya's list, Manoj to top the list. The one thing that a girl thinks about after her engagement is the honeymoon. I too had hell lot of plans. I wanted to go to Galapagos for a week, but TDH Manoj had unique plans. He took me on a TTMM, Tera Tu Mera Main honeymoon to Goa for a week. I booked the tickets to Goa. He booked the bus tickets from Goa. I paid for the hotel the day we reached while he paid for the day we left. I did the beach sports and Manoj went on a one-day Goa tour during the same time. Days passed and months flew. Finally, our first anniversary was around the corner. I made sure to remind him about it every single day for 3 months so that he plans properly. The day finally arrived and it was time to exchange the gifts. We had decided to search for the gifts rather than simply giving them away. It took Manoj only 5 minutes to find his beautifully wrapped gift hidden under the bed. He received a hand painted greeting card and a brand new mobile phone. It had been 5 hours and I was still searching for mine. I finally got tired and begged him to give it to me. He very gently walked into the bedroom, climbed up the ladder, and pulled down a ball of old crumbled newspapers and handed it over to me. My gift was wrapped in it. It was a wooden pen stand. 8 years have passed now, and the same story has repeated every single day, every single year, like a tradition. I have received the weirdest of gifts of all time, like a pen that has time zones and cities marked on it, a toolkit, a kid's diary. One year, he actually gifted me 12 dresses, or shall I say, one dress in 12 different colors with matching pearl necklaces and bracelets. Based on his choice of gifts and increasing social media pressure, one year I decided to order an iPod for myself for our anniversary. I also got it engraved to say, to the best and most beautiful wife in the whole world. Then I uploaded a pic with it on the Facebook with a message. Do I have the best husband or what? Thank you, dear hubby, for such a wonderful surprise. I'm the luckiest wife in the whole world. The post received so many likes and comments on Facebook that it literally crashed that day. I also got into the Guinness Book of World Record for owning a post with the most number of likes and comments in the history of internet. As a result, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, and my relatives, they all call us not Do Jisme Ek Jaan, but Sono and Mono. That's how exciting my married life have been till now. I may have given up my spot on the Miss World contest for Aishwarya Rai, but I'm still the Mrs. World in Manoj's heart. Aishwarya Rai may have stolen Manoj's heart at some point of time, but I've been stealing 100 rupees from his wallet every single day for the last 8 years, and he still doesn't know about it. Thank you, and back to the contest chair.
We will now maintain 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 5, Ashley Lobo. Ashley, you've got 30 seconds to test your audio video. Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you want me to mute myself?
Right? Ready to go? Can you see the timer's cards?
Not yet. Now I can. Yes.
Okay. Ashley Lobo, hair-raising episodes from the lockdown. Hair-raising episodes from the lockdown, Ashley Lobo.
Good morning, everyone. It was a few months into the lockdown. My hair was growing long and wild. My wife Giselle said, Ashley, you need to get it cut. But how? All the saloons and barbers, they were closed. Oh yes, there were a couple of village barbers who were open, but they don't believe in hygiene or social distance. What to do? What to do? My wife said, don't worry, I'll cut your hair. No! I said, absolutely not. She, after 27 years, said, I'll use the T word. Trust me. I said, oh, everyone's hair is going out of hand. Let's start with the kids. My daughter, Toastmaster Victoria, said, Dad, you're a senior Toastmaster. Toastmasters is about leadership. You lead from the front. And so I was sentenced to the chair. All kind of implements were brought. Different size scissors, this size, this size, this size. My son brought in the lawnmower and the garden shears. Soon, everyone was walking around me, examining my hair. My daughter grabbed a bunch of hair. My wife tried to cut it with the scissors. Wouldn't go through so much hair. Not a problem. She came out like a multi-armed goddess. Chop, chop, chop. Then the three of them walked around me surveying the results. What happened? nothing, sweetie. Trust me. The trimmer will make it all straight. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Again, the trio went around surveying the results. Then I heard, oops. I said, what happened? My wife said, trust. I said, no trust you. I grabbed the mirror, looked at my hair. Most of my hair was still there, except now there were bald lines crisscrossing my head. I said, enough of this. I grabbed the trimmer, grabbed the shaver, and I took off. 10 minutes later, I came back. Perfect haircut. If I had just come back from Tirupati, in 30 minutes, I had gone from DTM to BTM, from distinguished Toastmaster to baldy Toastmaster. At all our Toastmaster meetings, I'm over 60, so there was a betting line. Would my hair grow back? Table topics was always about what is the best way for Ashley to get his hair back. There were some great ideas. Put a cat on your head. Didn't work out. I got lots of scratches. Use fertilizer. Jaldi grow. Then someone said, use beer and wine. Oh, I love that. The next meeting they said, no, you're not supposed to drink it. You're supposed to put it on your head. Nothing was working. One day, in absolute frustration, I went out for a walk in the evening. I was yelling at God. Is this how I get treated? I listen to my wife, the goddess of the house, and I am bald. I don't believe anymore. Suddenly, boom! Lightning struck the tree right in front of me. I was shivering. I had goosebumps. I said, God, I'm sorry for Hey, my hair had come back. That was a true hair-raising experience. I had had two hair-raising experiences. A hair-raising experience and a hair-raising experience. Now my wife looks at all this hair that's growing unruly. And every time she even looks here, I say, trust me, this is on lockdown. Over to you, Contest.
We will now maintain 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 6, Shweta Jethani.
Malsi, wait, I can't, for
Okay.
some strange reason, spotlight her. Okay, now I
Okay.
can.
Yeah. Shweta?
Am I audible? Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I visible?
Yes. Can you see the timer's cards? Yes, I suppose.
Yes, I can see the white screen.
Okay. Shweta Jethani, me the savior. Me the savior, Shweta Jethani.
You guys must not be knowing, but let me tell you. I am that lucky one who have worked with world's second richest man, Mr. Warren Buffett. He admired me so much that he couldn't stop himself from praising me in front of others, to the extent that this praising got an attention of then and now POTUS Donald Trump. Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to share a story that how I turned out to be responsible in saving America from the clutches of Trump. Trump heard about me from Mr. Buffett that how good salesperson I am. As we all know, Trump himself was a successful businessman. After becoming president, he was looking for someone who possessed charisma and intelligence to handle his empire. So when he heard about me from Mr. Buffett that I'm so good, he decided to come to India. It was me for whom he came all the way, Sat Samandar Par. So he thought that as I'm meeting Shweta, so let me meet Prime Minister also. So he came to know from Mr. Buffett only that I am traveling to Ahmedabad in the last week of Feb due to my professional commitments. So he decided that let me land in Ahmedabad on 24th of Feb. So as per the protocol, our Prime Minister has to go and receive him. The moment he landed and met our Prime Minister, the first thing he asked was about me. Mr. Modi ji got aghast to know who is this gem that Trump knows but he doesn't. Then Modi ji was also aware that if he doesn't fulfill his requirement, then he could not sign the trade deal. So he immediately instructed his principal advisor, Mr. Doval, to find me. Fortunately, Mr. Doval was my neighbor in the past, so he immediately said, I know her. Mr. Doval called me and told me to come in. I said, sir, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Can I call you after some hour? That poor guy himself came in to pick me up. After listening to his grim situation and knowing that whole trade deal is at stake because of me, I decided to go. The moment I went there, Trump got so excited. He started clapping and jumping like a Donald Duck. Yeah, I know that he looks like that, but he was behaving like one too. Then he said, you need to join my campaign, re-election campaign. So before I could say anything to him, Mr. Modi ji came in and told him, she can't come to America. She is an asset to our country. And even I'm so patriotic that I simply denied his offer. Trump got so furious that he immediately left for Agra and then to US. After a few days, Modi ji gave me a call and assured me that he won't let me go anywhere. Then during our conversation, I suggested one solution. I told Modi ji, why don't you announce complete lockdown and stop all the overseas flights? This way we can buy some time. Modi ji liked my idea so much that he stopped all the modes of transportation. Meanwhile, Trump was calling me day in, day out. So I agreed to give him online consultancy. I convinced him that work from home is the new normal. He agreed reluctantly. This could solve my problem temporarily, but permanent solution was in no inside. Guess what? Modi ji came to my rescue again. He called Kamala Harris and told her to nominate herself. And we then had a Zoom call where we decided the strategy, how to defeat Trump's plan to become a president again. And finally, we succeeded. And that crybaby is still crying. And Modi ji is still thankful to Trump that because of him, he could meet me. This Trump is again calling me. And then it's high time that I should call Joe Biden. Over to you, contest chair. Thank you.
We will now maintain 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 7, Alifia Parekh. Alifia, you have 30 seconds to check your audio video.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes. Can you see the timer's cards, please?
Yes,
Okay.
I can see.
Okay. Alifia Parekh, super duper mistake. Super duper mistake, Alifia Parekh.
Everybody loves a superhero. But my love for superhero was a little extra. In fact, I always wanted to marry a superhero. Imagine Superman, I and him wearing matching cape and dupatta. Spider-Man taking me around the world. Not just world, around the universe, from one Milky Way to another. Iron Man ironing my clothes. What a wonderful life it would be. Anyway, fellow Toastmasters contest chair, one day before sleeping, I prayed really hard to God. Oh God, please send my superhero to me. Please send him so that I can meet him and marry him. The next day, when I woke up, my superhero was there in front of me. I could not believe my eyes. He was wearing red shoes, blue jeans, but no shirt. He had six packs, biceps, and a body like a bodybuilder, something that I always wanted in my superhero. I then asked him who he was. He said, no. He was wearing goggles and a mask. I said who he was. He said, I will not tell you my name. I will list down all my superpowers and you will have to guess who I am. I said, that sounds fantastic. Let's just begin. Tell me your superpowers. And he started saying, I am someone who can fly using a car. I can jump from the 40th floor. I can stop a train using my hand. I can spin in the air. I said, wow, that's incredible. It sounds like the combination of all the superheroes that I always wanted. But I could not guess him. So I requested him to remove his goggles so that I can see his face. And what I saw was God had taken my prayers literally. I had asked for a Superman, S-man, and God had sent me Cell-man. Salman Khan was standing in front of me. I could not believe this. I started thinking, now what should I do? But wait a minute. Salman Khan is also not that bad. He's rich. famous. He has a great body. Plus, his bracelet, blue color bracelet, has all the superpowers. I decided to talk to him and see how it goes. Later on, ask him to marry me. And as I was talking, out of excitement, I called him Sallu Bhai. Sallu Bhai. I don't know what made me say that, but he was very dejected. My dear Sallu was heartbroken. He immediately left, thinking that I had brother zoned him. Brother zoned. And I let him leave. We jumped onto conclusions, and our story did not even develop. It ended before beginning. My dear friends, in life, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's hear and talk each other out before making any decisions. Am I right? After that incident, I have moved on in my life, looking for my next superhero. But I hear Salman Khan still misses me. And out of remembrance, he has decided to stay single. Contestant.
We will now maintain 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 8, Khushbu Mishra. Khushbu, you have 30 seconds to check your audio video.
Yes. Am I audible properly?
Yes.
Am I visible?
Yes.
Okay. I cannot see the timer card yet. Okay, I can see it now.
Okay. Khushbu Mishra, not a sales pitch. Not a sales pitch. Khushbu Mishra.
Show me by thumbs up if you found your life partner or a boyfriend or a girlfriend when you were in college. Show me a thumbs up. No one? Oh, yes, you have been graduated successfully from college. Congratulations, because that is what college is for. Studies is like the secondary thing. I also found my life partner in my college. Contest chair and all my fellow Toastmasters. One day, a friend of mine came to me in college and told me, Kushbu, could you introduce me to that girl? Happened to you too, right? I said, no. She is not the right person for you. But he insisted. So I introduced them. Eventually, Krish and Radha broke up. And I had to find Ruku for Krish. That is when I realized I have this inherent capability of matching people. When I see someone, I see an aura on the top of their head. And then I try to find that same color. And as soon as I find the same color, bam, I know it's the match. I was becoming so good at matchmaking that I started matching my relatives, friends, left, right, and center. Then I thought that I should pass on this knowledge, this blessing that I have received from the Almighty. So I started the classes, matchmaking 101. The first batch of my students was very good. You know, Sean, Whitney, Mark. Sean and Whitney, the founders of Tinder and Bumble, they were my students. I taught them, do swipe right at the right person, not swipe up. But then Instagram stole that idea from me. Although, frankly speaking, I'm a little bit disappointed in Mark because I told him that you should start building a community for singles. But then he started getting into this marketing gimmick. I'm very disappointed in Mark. But the student that I'm most proud of has a Netflix special these days. Seema Kaparia from Mumbai. I told her just add from Mumbai because no one knows Seema Kaparia. She was my intern. And she was horrible. She matched Vivek with Aishwarya. Aishwarya came crying to me. Then I told Aishwarya, see, there's just one person in the industry who's not as talented as you, who has a lot of money and who has a good future. It's Abhishek Bachchan. So their marriage is an arranged marriage that I arranged, not a love marriage like everyone thinks. But I tell you honestly, I had a lot of problem matching Priyanka Chopra with Nick Jonas because she was breaking up with everyone. When I saw Barfi, I realized, oh God, I was matching her in the wrong age group. So I started looking at the right age group and bam, we found Nick Jonas. I was there at the wedding. If you go and check on Instagram, you'll find me in the background doing shawa shawa. It was a beautiful wedding. So what I've done now is that I've become a very humble person and I've given my matchmaking business to Seema Taparia. She handles it. Whatever earnings we get, we give it to charity. Eventually, I also realized that this is a skill I can use in other professions. I mean, matching a perfect mother-in-law to a perfect daughter-in-law is a tougher job. So I started doing that. I started matching mother-in-law to daughter-in-laws, employee to employer, maid to a perfect household, and I started my consultancy business. But you see, I still remain a humble person. Whatever I earn, I just give it away to charity. And that is why I live a simple life. So if you also want to find your perfect husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, maid, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, plus do some charity, then what do you need to do? You need to send 5,000 rupees to 8433513053. That's my Google Pay number. Or you can just DM me on Instagram. I take credit cards also. So do DM me. Contest share.
We will now maintain 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 9, Tanvi Kher. Tanvi, please check your audio video.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I visible?
Yes. How about the timer cards? Yeah, you can, see them. Okay. Tanvi Kher, the indomitable pest. The indomitable pest, Tanvi Kher.
Our house has been invaded. Invaded by a super fast, super strong, super powerful enemy. We can barely tackle one or two while we are ambushed by 100 others. These are no ordinary creatures. They are silent beings of the night. They look deceptively harmless until they spread their wings and fly straight at you. Contest chair and my dear friends, Yes, we have been invaded by the formidable cockroach. Their mighty army is resistant to our most powerful sprays, insecticides, even the whack of a slipper. Last night, I encountered one of these in the kitchen. I took off my slipper and aimed a whack right on its head. It gave me a withering look, shrugged itself off, and started to walk away. But I don't give up easy. I aimed yet another whack with the same result. I took a deep breath and poised my deadly assault weapon once again when I heard a laugh, an eerie, human sounding laugh. I looked around. There was no one in the room except this non slipper fearing cockroach. I looked at it closely. Don't frown, child. Child? Child, this puny little thing, smaller than my little finger, laughing at me and calling me child. We've been around for thousands and millions of years. We've even seen the dinosaurs. You humans, you are freshers on the planet. Wait a minute. You speak English? We learn, we adapt, and we evolve. Living among you, we learned your language. And you know, it's really useful. When you call the pest control guys, we retreat to our holiday homes for the day. You're pretty smart for a cockroach and a pest. Thank you. But what's a pest? You are the pest. You invade our homes. You spoil our food, and by God, do you multiply. Remind me, what do you call those who cut down the trees, pollute the oceans, and overpopulate the earth? There's no need to be smug, Mr. Cocky Roach. Look, there is the problem with you. You humans think you are the smartest creatures on the planet. All other creatures insignificant. And yet, look who's hiding from a virus that you can't even see. Ha ha ha. Stop frowning. I'll tell you a secret. You know how we've survived all these years? Because we stick together. You may kill 100 of us, 1,000 of us. But as a species, we fight back together as one. And you know what helps? Our needs are very few, and we satisfy them locally. We eat whatever you leave lying around. No fancy food, no fancy items. And we never waste anything. Make a lot of sense. But tell me, hello, Mr. Cockroach? Looks like he got away. But he got me thinking. Can we learn something from the immense wisdom of this indomitable pest? What do you think, contest chair?
We will now maintain 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 10, Suyog Vyas.
Yep.
Yeah. You have 30 seconds. Please check your video audio.
Am I visible clearly?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes. Can you see the timer's cards, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Suyog Vyas, the biggest liar. The biggest liar, Suyog Vyas.
Good morning, everyone. Once, I was called in court as a witness. Whatever I'll say the truth, and I won't lie. As I said this, I couldn't utter a word after that because as contest chair rightly said, I am the biggest liar of the world, the champion of the world's biggest liar, which happens every year in England. Whenever I lie, the whole lie spreads throughout the nation within a blink of an eye. For example, I said to someone that hockey is the national sport of India, and everyone believed that. No, it is not the national sport of India. It was a lie started by me. But finally, one day, my grandma got fed up of this bad habit of mine. She went to some tantric Baba or something, and the Baba, he gave her a rainbow colored pill, and he said, mix this pill with your grandson's food. It will go inside his body, it will manipulate his nervous system, and he will only speak the truth. And my grandma just did as said. The next day, I woke up a little late. As I was packing for my office, my dad came to me and he asked me, so you slept well last night? What slept well? Whole night Preeti was arguing with me when I'm going to take her to Paris, when I'm going to take her to America. What? Who is this Preeti? Preeti, your friend Ram uncle's daughter, my girlfriend. Oh my God, what am I saying? I think the pill was starting to work on me. Now, before this scene could have gotten any worse, I immediately left for my office. As I was thinking about what is happening with me, I was waiting for my driver to pick me up. Now, my driver, he is a driver come actor. People call him something by the name of the King Khan of Bollywood or something. His real name is Shah Rukh Khan. So Shah Rukh came, he picked me up, and while he was driving the car, he asked me in an excited state, Suyog, you saw my latest movie Zero. How was it? Wasn't it a blockbuster? Now, as the pill was working on me, my answer was weird. And I said him, well, Shah Rukh, to be honest, the only thing which was correct about your movie Zero was the title's name itself, Zero. Because your movie was zero in acting, zero in story, zero in rating, zero in everything. Your character, a common man, he goes into the space without any prior training. Dude, we call it tall tales in Toastmasters. Now, because of my answer, Shah Rukh kind of threw me out of my car. But I had to bear the consequences of my unwanted actions. But after a lot of struggle, I finally reached to my office. And that day, surprisingly, my boss came to me. He stood in front of me like this and asked me, so Suyog, do you think I will win the Best Boss of the Year 2020 award? I had a look at him first upside down. Then I started shouting loudly, so loudly that the people from the streets were looking at me. And I said to him, so boss, you winning that award would be like Mr. Bean winning the award for most intelligent person on the planet. Impossible in 1,000 years. And the whole staff started laughing at my boss. So that evening, when I was fired, fired from my office, to give the last blow of my worst day ever, Ram uncle called me. And then Ram uncle, when we met, uncle just asked me one thing. Do you love Preeti really? And my answer was, Yes, I do. I do, Ramangal, because the universe has shown me a way to achieve her. My heart beats her name, even when we are miles apart. My soul feels her, even when we are miles apart. Now, if I wasn't on this truth pill, the liar, stupid me, would have never been able to make up this beautiful answer. Ram uncle was satisfied with my answers and my emotions. My marriage with Preeti was fixed. Today, I have been married to Preeti for the last 2 years, and in these 2 years, I have never, ever lied about anything. But not because of the pill. I know you married folks got my joke last there. Over to the contestant.
We will now maintain 3 minutes of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. We will now maintain 3 minutes of silence. Yes. Anu,
Yes, we are waiting for Chief Judge to confirm ballots.
yes, yes, thank you.
Another minute, Chief Judge Mukta still to confirm.
No problem.
Can you call her and confirm, please?
I have already sent her a message on WhatsApp.
In the meantime, can we have all the contestants put on their videos so that our photographer can take a group photo of all the contestants along with the contest chair? Aditya and Alifia, could you please put on your videos?
Contest chair, you may proceed. Ballots received.
Okay, thank you, Anu. Vishnu, can we go ahead? Yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay. I now invite all the tall tale speech contestants to be spotlighted in their speaking order to receive their certificates of participation. Contestant number 1, Saloni. Yes. Saloni, congratulations. Please accept your certificate of participation. Thank you. Contestant number 2, Aditya Narayan. Congratulations. Please accept your certificate of participation. Thank you. Third contestant, Simipreet Kaur. Congratulations, Simipreet. Please accept your certificate of participation. Contestant number 4, Sonia Manoj.
Give me a go slower.
Yes. Sonia.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our fifth contestant, Ashley Lobo. Ashley, congratulations. Please accept your certificate of participation.
Spelled my name wrong. Thank you.
Thank you. Contestant number 6, Shweta Jetani. Shweta, congratulations. Our seventh contestant, Alifia Parekh. Alifia, congratulations and please accept your certificate of participation.
Thank you.
Our eighth contestant, Khushbu Mishra. Khushbu, congratulations.
Thank you.
Our ninth participant, Tanvi Khair. Tanvi, congratulations.
Thank you.
And our final contestant, Suyog Vyas. Suyog, congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
A big round of applause for everyone. It has been an enthralling experience for me listening to the Tall Tales contestants, and I'm sure is the same experience has been with all the entire audience. We have not only enjoyed, but also learned a lot about Tall Tales today. I would now like to hand over the control to our event convener, distinguished Toastmaster, Vishnu Merikonda. Over to you, Vishnu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Marathi, for that wonderful contest. Good morning, everybody. I hope you all had a great fun with our Tall Tales contest 2020 this year. Without wasting much of our time, let us move on to the next segment, that is to felicitate our committee members who have worked so hard for the past 50 days to 60 days to get this contest done. But before we proceed, I would like to make a small announcement to all our 10 top finalists, all the participants, that you will be receiving a token of appreciation from Pune Advanced Toastmasters Club in the form of Amazon gift voucher soon by the end of the day. So congratulations once again. With that, may I request our awards chair to share the screen to felicitate our committee members. Yes, without whom this contest wouldn't have been possible, our wonderful PR chair and the Zoom master, Anuradha Anand. Anuradha, can I have your video on, please? Yes, here she is. Congratulations, Anuradha. Thank you so much for your wonderful work along with your PR team. And our next chair is our program chair, Toastmaster Deepika Kumari, who have done a fantastic job to get everything done in time, along with the contestants briefing, role players briefing, everything else, the agenda, everything on time. Thank you so much, Deepika, for your wonderful contribution. To make sure we screen all the videos, submissions that we have received, our selection committee chair, along with our team, his team, Sirish Natkar, have done a fantastic job and gave us the results within the timeline and helped our final contestants to practice before our final contest. Thank you so much, Sirish. Last but not the least, our registrations chair with a whopping 151 registrations, although we only had 100 capacity here, but thank you so much, Vasudha, for getting the job done. Thank you so much. With that, let us take a quick break of 4 minutes and let's gather back at 11:45 for our second half of our event.
Yep. Vishnu, just the photographs are being visible of all the team
Thank you.
members.
Before that, wonderful PR team who have done a fantastic job. Abhilash MG, Abhishek Kumar, Devina, Palash, Suhas, Raghavendra, Shailendra, Swapnil, Tanay, and Umesh. With the chair, Anuradha, who have helped us and got wonderful registrations as well as contestants today for our contest of Tall Tales. And also we have a group of people who have helped us in finalizing the top 10 finalists today. With the selection committee comprises of Ajay Hiraska, Pramod PB, Lakshmi Nair, Ravina More, Samir Nayak, Suhas, and the chair of the selection committee, Sirish. Thank you for your wonderful contribution. With that, let us take, okay. Suhas has asked me before we go ahead for the break, can I have all the audience put on your videos, please, so that Suhas, our photographer, can take a group photo. Can I have all the audience, whoever can put on your videos, please turn on your cameras so that we can have a group photo. Thank you. And do some crazy hand gestures, whichever you want. 1 minute to go. May I have all the speakers put on your, sorry, all the audience put on your videos, please. Suhas, are we good? 1 more minute. All right.
Yeah, thank you for unmuting me, Vishnu. Actually, there are 3 pages. I'm just taking the screenshot of all. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. With that, let us take a quick break of 4 minutes and we'll be back by 11:50, sorry, 11:47.
Is Chetan here? Does he want to test his audio video? Chetan, I'm just unmuting you. You are not audible. Chetan, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes. Okay. Got that finally.
I'm just spotlighting you just so that everybody can see you. Welcome, Chetan.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible.
Your audibility is a little lower. Can you just change that?
I'll try to work.
Okay, it's coming a little broken.
Hi, Chetan. Good morning to you.
I love Pune Advanced t-shirts on the screen. All 6.
Chetan, good morning.
Chetan, you're on mute.
I think he's going to go on like.
I was trying to unmute myself, but there were some challenges.
Yeah, please. How are you doing? Good to see
Very
you.
well. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Good to see you. It's our absolute honor and pleasure to have you with us. I think everybody's going to look forward to these 20 minutes, the next 20 minutes.
How has the session
Yes,
been all morning?
Vishnu, yes, it's been wonderful. Great contest. Yes, Vishnu, all our t-shirts look absolutely spiffy. The Advanced Club t-shirts.
We'll start in a minute, right?
Yes, Ravi. In fact, you can start right
Timer, can we have the cards, please? At least white or red coming on.
No, we have requested the timer to share the screen only at the 18th minute. So the Chetan will be spotlighted throughout 18 minutes. And at the 18th minute, the green card and the rest of the cards will come up.
Okay.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Everybody take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to miss any portion of today's session. Was that amazing or was that amazing? I'm still coming to terms with all the realities of this new world we live in, a world where world peace has been achieved thanks to Aditya and his Nimbus 3000. Not sure what he was talking about there. And the Kohinoor diamond is back in India thanks to Saloni. And cockroaches are wise and speak English. Wow. I wonder if cockroaches at Tanvi's house realize the nuances of the English language, because it's not always straightforward, right? For example, what's the opposite of decent? Indecent, right? What's the opposite of capable? Incapable, right? But what's the opposite of flammable? Inflammable? No! Flammable and inflammable mean exactly the same thing. Opposite of valuable? Invaluable? No! The list is never ending. Opposite of habitable? Inhabitable? No! This is so ridiculous. They certainly do not tickle my funny bone. And speaking of the funny bone, you know where the funny bone is in your body? You know where that is? Does anybody know where the funny bone is? It's not on your armpits. Funny. That's not in your armpits, man. And it's not in the place where you tickle around your waist. Here's a funny thing. A funny bone is not even a bone. It's a bloody nerve that runs along in your hand, connecting the upper arm or the humerus bone to the lower arm. English must have some nerve calling this nerve the funny bone. But let me not take that away from our contestants here. You've been an incredible audience with your support to our contestants, gracing them with your wonderful presence and encouragement. And as a thank you for your engagement, we are bringing you this very special segment today, one that will elevate our storytelling capabilities. We are very, very fortunate to have amongst us Mr. Chetan Shetty. Mr. Chetan Shetty, by way of introduction, is an enthusiastic member of the Storytellers, which is a guild of members of varying age groups. They strive to use stories to seed discussion on issues they consider important, like how some of our speakers have done today. So when he's not spinning stories, he's also the Chief Operating Officer of Extensia Information Technologies. And in addition to that, he's also working with the Center for Youth Development and Activities, or SIDA, to help find employment for returning migrant workers. A very noble initiative indeed, Chetan. Chetan holds an MBA from ENPC School of International Management, Paris, and believes that if we know the purpose, the why behind every activity we undertake, we can better align our goals with what the world needs. Ladies and gentlemen, Chetan Shetty.
Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak before you all today. The Toastmasters is an excellent initiative, and I'm quite humbled that you call me once or twice, quite often, in fact, because I feel that there's so many of you who speak so well, and to be invited by such a group is a privilege and an honor for me. So today I'm going to present you a story called Finger Licking Good. And it's in first person, so let's just dive right in to Finger Licking Good. My name is Colonel Harlan Sanders. And I'm the founder of KFC, something that you all know about. We now have 20,000 restaurants in 123 countries around the world. Quite impressive, right? But you know, I've had a lot of pretty rough times in my life. I've had my share of setbacks. And yes, sir, I've held many different jobs. Many people wrote me off as a rolling stone. So you might wonder how I did it. Well, my story, as told in a stage play written and performed by Henry McDowell, is what I'm going to present to you. Did I say I was Colonel Sanders? Minor correction. I'm not Colonel Sanders. I'm Colonel Sanders' ghost, or spirit, if you might. Colonel Sanders passed away in 1980. So now, as a spirit, I travel freely across the world without visas, without quarantine, to spread this message of Colonel Sanders' life and what this did, what this means to the rest of us. I was born on September 9th in 1890. And my dad died when I was only 5 years old. And he left my mama to bring up 3 children. I was the oldest of the 3, and it was quite difficult on my mama. My mama eventually took up a job in a neighboring town so that she could earn more money. And by the time I was 7, quite often she would stay over in that neighboring town. And she could trust me to take care of the housework, to get my siblings to bed on time, and not to burn the house down. But as you can imagine, I had to start cooking when I was just 7 years old. And then when I was 16, I finally found escape and I joined the army. And I was so excited. And they put me on a ship and shipped me to Cuba along with 1,500 mules. The rocking of the ocean, I was a landlubber, and the rocking of that boat and that ship and the stench of 1,500 mules excreta made me, it was terrible. And the best thing I did about getting into the army was within 4 months, I got out. Yeah, you're wondering that if I got out so soon, how did I become colonel? Now, that's a mistake many people make. No, I didn't become a colonel in the army. Then I came back home, and at the age, still quite 16, 17, I joined the railroads as a fireman. It was an important job. I had to shovel coal into the steam engine fire. I thought of it as being a very important job, and I took great pride in what I did. But at the same time, I also started studying law by a correspondence course. And when I had some difficulties understanding all those terms, I would hang around with lawyers, at their tea shop and coffee shop and chat with them and get them to help me. I always had the gift of the gab, so that sort of helped me get along. Then once when I was about 26 years old, the moment of reckoning came. While I was working on the railroad, I saw a flagman come running down the track saying, "There's been an accident, there's been an accident." And the fact was that a little further down the track, there'd been an accident and several passengers, mainly blacks, we now call them African Americans, had been injured. I knew what was going to happen. The railroad was going to send their claims agent down there to get everyone to sign off a waiver form so they could pay them $1 or $2, depending on how much blood they had on their clothes, and just close the case quickly. I decided to do just the opposite. So I got out of my overalls, wore my jacket, grabbed my briefcase, and I went to the accident site. And sure enough, when I got there, the claims agent was there. So I started from here and we met down the middle. And I got from all the passengers I could get in touch with a power of attorney so that I could represent them to the insurance company. And I managed to win them a lot of claims. My commission alone was $2,500. In the early 1900s, believe me, that was a lot of money. But in the bargain, the railways fired me. After all, I fought against them. Anyway, I decided, come on, now it's my time to become a lawyer. So I became a full-time lawyer. But for a very unfortunate incident, even that career didn't last very long. You know what happened one day is that a lawyer beat up his own client in the presence of a judge in the courtroom. So the judge debarred that lawyer for life. That lawyer was me. And I beat up my own client because that SOB of a client had not paid me. He deserved to get beaten. Anyway, I was out of that job too. And at that time, I joined Prudential Life Insurance. And I did very well. You know, it was 1918, 1919. It was the time of the Spanish flu, the last big pandemic before this one. And at that time, insurance companies did very well. And I did very well in Prudential Life Insurance. But after a few years, I got bored. So I quit that job. And then I joined Michelin Tire Company. You know, it was 1923. Cars were being sold everywhere. And I reckon that every car had 4 tires, and everyone needed tires, and people were buying cars even if they didn't need one. So I got into Michelin Tire Company, and I was selling their tires, taking the samples in my boot of my car and going from village to village, town to town in the fairs. I used to dress up like the Michelin man and wear that costume and, try to sell the tires. And yet again, another unfortunate incident happened. There's a bridge close to my home crossing a little stream. And while I was coming home, the bridge collapsed. I lost my car, I lost the samples. Naturally, I survived. But in the bargain, I lost my job. If I didn't have a car, how would I go around? So I was back on the highway hitchhiking wherever I had to go. And one day I got a lift in a huge Cadillac. And I got in and I was chatting with a guy there. He seemed like a fine gentleman. I later realized that he was the general manager of the Standard Oil Company. The Standard Oil Company is the original oil company of the United States. All the new companies that you see now, like Exxon, Chevron, etc., are all subsidiaries that broke away from Standard Oil. So he was a big man. And he was impressed by the way I spoke. And at the end of the journey, he told me, there's a gas station in Corbin, Kentucky that's not doing so well. Would you like to take it over? Would I? Sure, I would. So I was 39 years old when I started my career at a gas station in Corbin, Kentucky. But it was here that I made 3 innovations. The first was, as soon as these old farmers came in their dirty trucks into my gas station, I would start dusting their windscreen, putting water in their radiator, cleaning their floorboard, in addition to pumping gas. And people really liked that. People appreciate good service when they get it. So soon I was pumping more gas than any other gas station in Kentucky. Then I listened to what my customers were saying. I could hear the truck drivers and the businessmen complain that there wasn't any good place to eat around here. I thought, hell, I know how to cook. So I started using my own kitchen, and I put out my dining table out in the gas station and started serving my own cooking out there. Soon enough, I had truck drivers, businessmen, tourists sitting side by side and enjoying the food that I was making. I put up a nice sign which said Sanders Cafe and Service Station. And then came the third and the most important innovation. A hardware guy called me and told me that he had a new invention. It was an airtight cooking vessel which had a steam release valve. In India, it's very common. It's a pressure cooker. You see it everywhere. But this one was for frying. So I knew I needed that because the southern fried chicken that I served was very popular, but it took really long to cook. So I took that pressure fryer home and I put it in and I threw in some chicken and some herbs and spices and I experimented with it and cooked it. And then finally, when it came out and I tasted it, it was horrible, beyond horrible. But you have guessed this about me now. I'm not one to give up. So I tried again and I tried again and I tried again until finally I found the right way to use that pressure fryer so that I could preserve the moisture, keep in the chicken flavor, and then with the right mix of 11 herbs and spices, when you bit into that chicken, it was finger-licking good. Even till today, my recipe of those 11 herbs and spices handwritten by me is in the KFC headquarters. Well, with that, I launched Kentucky Fried Chicken. I chose to call it Kentucky Fried Chicken to separate it from the Southern Fried Chicken that other restaurants were making. and it was a huge hit. It was around that time, when I was about 45 years old, that the governor of Kentucky honored me with the title of the Colonel of Kentucky. You know, it's not really so important. It's just like, being the sheriff of Bombay or being a special executive magistrate. But I decided I'm going to take it seriously. And that was the time I adopted this persona. I started wearing a white jacket, this black Western string tie, and a little goatee beard, exactly like you can see on the KFC logo nowadays. And I adopted that persona, and I started calling myself Colonel Sanders. Once I was in a court case, and the opposing lawyer rather cheekily asked me, he said, "Colonel Sanders, did you ever lead a regiment in the army?" I said, "No, sir, I didn't." "Then what's the meaning of this colonel before your name?" And I thought about it and I told him, I said, "Sir, the colonel before my name is like the word honorable before your name. They both don't mean a damn thing." And laughter erupted in the courtroom, but there was no more questions about my name anymore. Now, I could have carried on this way forever. A single restaurant, Sanders Cafe and Service Station, serving great food, pumping gas, and life would have been okay. I was making good money. But when I was 65 years old, the government built a highway that just bypassed Corbin, Kentucky altogether. All of a sudden, the traffic to my gas station and restaurant collapsed. And I had taken out loans and I had alimony to pay and stuff like that. At the end of it, I had to sell everything. And I was left with a Social Security check of $100. And I was 65 years old. It was the time when all people were at 65 were retiring or long retired already. But I knew that there were things that I knew better than anyone else. I knew how to make a damn good chicken, and I knew how to talk. So I decided I'm going to do this differently. I got into my car with my pressure fryer and created whole packets of these 11 herbs and spices. And I went from restaurant to restaurant, teaching them how to make Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken. I would spend some time in the kitchen and then come out in the restaurant and tell customers what a great dish was coming by their way. So it was not easy. The USA is not a chicken eating country. They eat beef and they eat pork. Nobody eats chicken. Everyone told me this wasn't going to work. But I had no other choice almost, and I just had to make it work. To save money, I should sleep in my car. I should get up and shave and shower at the gas station. At the age of 65, mind you, going from restaurant to restaurant, from city to city, from state to state, trying to franchise my single dish, Kentucky Fried Chicken. In 8-9 years, I managed to get 600 outlets in the United States to franchise and sell Kentucky Fried Chicken. And for every chicken they sold, I got 1 cent. But believe me, that added up to a lot of money. And finally, at the age of 75, my company got bought out. And those guys took the KFC brand international. And they retained me as the brand ambassador. And I appeared on all their television commercials. And I went around the world lecturing everybody about the story of the KFC brand. And they retained my face on the logo. Even today it's there. You can see Colonel Sanders there. Well, I didn't ever want to retire from a job, but eventually I had to retire from life. That's how things are. And finally, at the age of 90 in 1980, life caught up with me and I passed away. And they buried me in my white jacket, in my black Western tie, and my goatee beard. And I was still always remembered for this persona that I had. And now that I'm free of a body, I travel around the world telling this story because there are so many important lessons here. And I will touch upon just one because it has some connection with India. You may know a lot of people in your family, in your friends, in your circle, who keep trying different things and nothing seems to work out. Damn it, my uncle, my dad's brother was like that. He had a dairy business, then he started a security business, and he even worked in the army for some time. He was a captain, and he tried this and he tried that, and nothing seemed to succeed. He tried construction, he tried this, and everything he would be in losses, and then eventually someone had to bail him out. And finally, his children, who are now grown up, almost told him, look, we'll pay you not to do any business. But we all have people like that. But I think that it's just a matter of time, that things will happen, and that we should show faith and we should lend a shoulder. And in looking for all those solutions, I came across a great Indian saying, and it's written in an Indian language, so maybe you can help me out with it. It says, "Apna time aega, apna time aega." So cut them a little slack, okay, and be nice to everybody. Thank you so much. I would like to have some discussion or take some questions if there is still time. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I normally keep my window full. So if there are some things in the chat, maybe it's just a good time to raise it now and let me know. But over to you, sir.
Wow, that was amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a masterclass in storytelling by Chetan Shetty. Let's give him a huge round of applause for showing us how to become a better storyteller. Thank you so much, Chetan. May I request Muskan to felicitate Chetan with a certificate as a token of our appreciation, please. Muskan? Thank you again so much, Chetan sir,
Thank
for
you so much.
sharing
Thank you,
your
nice to see you again.
experience. Apna time zarur aayega. That was wonderful. Great.
Do we have time for some discussion?
Yes, we do have time for some questions and discussion. Maybe participants can raise their hand and Zoom Master can unmute you if anybody has any questions. While we wait for questions to come, yes, we have a question from Mukta. Mukta?
Absolutely wonderful. It's a mesmerizing story, and the way you relate it is it's absolutely fabulous. And I love listening to this story. When did you start your storytelling career or a side career, if I may put it?
So it's
and what made you interested in telling?
So let me just answer that very quickly. I started about 7-8 years ago, so I've been at it for a while, and the inspiration to do this came from 2-3 sources. One of them was that I was doing amateur theater when I could many years ago, and been doing it off and on for quite a while. And then I found that amateur theater was so difficult because it required so many people, and then it required a stage, and you had to sell tickets, and then eventually English theater could gather only one audience in Pune. So you took all that effort for one performance, and then it was over. So I just thought this was too self-centered. Just for me to get on stage, there was so much effort had to happen. So I was looking for an alternative to play a role, to be, to tell stories, but not have a whole play. Secondly, there was I saw Nasiruddin Shah perform a play called Ek Sham Ismat Apa Ke Naam, where the three of them narrated stories by Ismat Chugtai, and I was so mesmerized by that. That was a time that my company was going through a very difficult time, and one of my board members called me for lunch to ask me what I intended to do. And he said, "What will you do if the company folds up?" And I said, "I think I'll become a storyteller." And he thought I'd gone crazy, that eventually the stress had got to me. But I was so mesmerized by Nasir. And then the third thing is that there's a guy, a very good friend of mine called Peter, who does amazingly interesting things. And I followed him in all his adventures. And he started a storytelling group, and that was it. And so we are now there.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thanks so
you.
much, Chetan, for sharing that piece of background and insight, and really kind of fired us up with your imagination as well as your storytelling abilities. We hope to be able to learn from this and take our own abilities to the next level. Really, really appreciate it. So, so I would like to now move on to the next part of the program for today, which, as Chetan mentioned, Apna time aayega. And ladies and gentlemen, time has now come. You've seen 10 contestants spinning their incredible yarns. You've seen our esteemed guest speaker, Chetan, bring alive the story of Colonel Sanders through an autobiographical narrative. It is now your turn. Switch on the imagination. Think on your feet and speak out your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for table topics. So, to introduce the table topics master, I would like to invite Ms. Pankaja. Ms. Pankaja is as proud as a peacock. This is how her classmates described her in the second standard. She takes pride in being persistent. How? Persistently losing in contests, bouncing back. She is currently a technical communicator specialist at Persistent Systems and learned persistence while doing her PhD at the University of Birmingham. So let's give a big hand to welcome Table Topics Master, Ms. Pankaja.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi. And now let's begin the table topics. Let's start. Oh, a diamond ring. You just rub your hands for 1 second, one ring. Rub for 4 seconds, four rings. But don't try it now. The contest it won't like this. Now, the rules are simple as before. The green card comes up at 1, the yellow card at 1.5, and the red card comes at the end of 2 minutes. Now let me call our first speaker, Toastmaster Swapnil Zavre. Toastmaster Swapnil, it's your stage now.
He's putting on his camera, hang on.
Okay.
In the meantime, can we have another speaker?
Pankaj, Swapnil's video is not coming on. Go to the next one.
Okay, so our next speaker is Farida. Farida, come on the stage, please.
She's on.
I'm on. Great. So Farida, can you say a word? Are you there? All set? All set. Great. So Farida, my bodyguard, Napoleon Bonaparte. My bodyguard, Napoleon Bonaparte.
My body, Napoleon Bonaparte. When I watched him from the very young age, I always used to tell myself, I need to have someone who had that exclusive, bona fide, absolutely amazing hat. Can you imagine me walking around, strutting in that beautiful gown, and he there behind me, people admiring him, and then saying, oh, he's her bodyguard. And then me introducing everybody. This is Napoleon Bonaparte. He's left all the wars and everything he's acquired through the wars just to be my bodyguard. And I kept strutting around the place, and all of a sudden, people just started disappearing. Every time I went a little further, they fell down. They just disappeared from the scene. And I wondered what's happening. Is Napoleon silently killing them all because he wants to keep me for himself? I wondered. And then, all of a sudden, I felt my eye scratching. I opened it, and there was nobody. No Napoleon Bonaparte. Nobody there on the scene at all. Is this going to be my dilemma for the rest of my life? No Napoleon Bonaparte in my life. So I decided I'm going to go get all the craft I can get, at least create that hat of his and put him up there, keep it there, and tell myself, insert a picture every day of someone I love. That's my Napoleon Bonaparte. And I shall enjoy doing it on a different basis every single day. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much. No, Napoleon Bonaparte. That was wonderful, Farida. And now our next speaker is Shailesh Gaikwad. Shailesh, are you ready?
Shailesh, please start your video. Pankaj, the next one, please.
The next speaker is Karan Parekh. Karan, be all ready. I can call any one of you. So be ready. Have your videos on.
Done.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, great.
Okay.
So Karan.
Yeah.
My driver, Bill Gates. My driver, Bill Gates.
Okay. Good morning to all, and I've been given the topic my driver Bill Gates. So I wanted to someone said work so hard that your signature becomes an autograph, and I tell them work so hard that the world's richest person becomes your driver. So that is what this story is all about. I began my career as a businessman, and eventually in just 60 years I became one of the richest person in the whole world. I became so rich that Bill Gates had to come to me to take up the job of a driver. Imagine the amount of wealth that I've acquired. I can have Elon Musk as my cook. I can have Warren Buffett as my uh, as my uh, as my waiter. I can have Carlos Slim as my gardener. I can have Mark Zuckerberg to clean my house. I can have uh, okay. I can have Ronaldo Messi to teach my son football. I can have Federer to teach my daughter tennis. So that is how rich I have become. And the one thing that I've learned in tall tales that that you have to just fake how easy you have to lie, that I've tried to learn here and to implement here. So over to Tabletop Master.
That was wonderful, Karan. I love to see how rich you have become. And now for the next speaker, Swapnil, are you ready with your video?
Swapnil is not there. Second speaker.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
You are there? Okay.
You are there? Okay,
Yeah,
wow. Swapnil, yes. My electrician, Thomas Edison.
Oh my God.
My electrician, Thomas Edison.
Do you guys wonder how Thomas was successful in inventing his first experience? He researched in my garage. I was working in the garage and he was assisting me, and he failed multiple times. That time I gave him idea and he found his invention. Thomas was filed patent because of me. Today, all people in the world are thankful to him, but as they say, behind a successful man, there is a woman, but behind Thomas, there was me, a man behind a successful Thomas Edison. Yes, but Thomas did not tell to anyone that Swapnil is the pioneer behind this magical invention. Yes, and we both did work hard, and we invented it. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swapnil. Thank you for inspiring Edison and for the lights that all we have. And with this, may I now hand over the control to DTM Mukta to take over the proceedings. DTM Mukta.
Thank you so much, Pankaja. And like all good things that almost come to an end, we too are nearing the end of this wonderful day of our Tall Tales contest. But before we leave, we have to recognize and thank all those who made this day possible. We've already recognized those who've been working for months, but all those who were on stage today and helped us conduct this contest. So I would request Muskan to help share the certificates and Anu to spotlight our role players. First, we have Ankit Kale, who was the Sergeant at Arms and who opened the meeting so brilliantly. Thank you so much, Ankit. It was a pleasure to have you on the team. Next, we have our two timers, Aditya Saxena and Advait Dikshit. Thank you so much, Aditya and Advait.
Thank you.
It isn't easy to keep time for such a long event, but you have been spot on, and I'm sure the contestants appreciated it. Thank you to both of you. Could we have their certificates, please, Muskan? Next, we'll have the tally counters, the two persons who helped total the scores of all the judges, Shirish Nadkar and Vijay Chada.
Vijay is not there. I can't find him.
Thank you, Shirish. Yes, I think he's just dropped out, so that's okay. And our very own Zoom master, who's been so attentive right from the word go. Our Zoom master for today was Anuradha Anant. Thank you so much, Anu. Always spot on the job. Thank you. And our awards chair, who has meticulously and beautifully designed and presented the certificates, Muskan, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us today. I know you have somewhere else to go, but thank you very much. And with that, I hand over to our contest chair, Malti, to announce the results. Over to you, Malti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mukta ma'am. And now for the results of the contest, for which we have been waiting for so long. So without much ado, let us get straight into the results. Our third place winner for today is Tanvi Kher. A big round of applause. Tanvi, congratulations, Tanvi. Okay. Our second place winner for today is Sonia Manoj. Sonia. Congratulations.
Thank you. It is actually a tall tale.
And in the first place, the champion of Tall Tales Contest 2020, we have Simi Preet Kaur. Congratulations, Simi Preet.
Thank you so much.
Now, let's give them a big round of applause, all three. We've come to the end now, ladies and gentlemen. We have had, I know, hilarious and improbable tall tales. I have specially enjoyed being your contest chair. This is the first time that I'm playing the role of a contest chair for Tall Tales, and I really loved the contest. I congratulate the Pune Advanced Toastmasters Club for conducting this event for the 4th year in a row. I'd like to thank all the contestants and assignees for an excellent job, and of course, the audience, and I'm sure they have enjoyed the contest as much as I have done as a contest chair. So, and now with that, I hand over control to our event convener, DTM Vishnu. Over to you, Vishnu.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Before we proceed, let us felicitate those role players who have helped us in conducting today's contest as well as the event. May I request Muskan to share her screen, please? Of course, our energetic master of ceremony, Ravi. Thank you so much for being such an enthusiastic and energetic host for today's event. Thank you so much. And also a person who have cut short her role and made sure that at least we have 3 good speakers in table topic session, our topics master, Pankaja Kulapka. Thank you so much, Pankaja. A wonderful contest chair who have conducted the contest without a single flaw, Malati Iyer. Thank you so much, Malati.
Thank you, Vishnu.
And of course, last but not the least, our very own superstar and rock star, Chief Judge Mukta Natka, Distinguished Toastmaster Mukta Natka, for her meticulous job being the Chief Judge for today's contest. Thank you so much, Mukta.
Thank you so much.
Now, I'll request Anu to spotlight this special person who have been helping behind the scenes, not just in the PR team or outreach program, but also our photographer, Suhas Anantanarayanan. Suhas, thank you so much for the meticulous job that you have done so far for the past 50 days, not just today. Thank you so much, Suhas.
Thank you, Vishnu.
It is indeed my privilege to be the convener for Tall Tales Contest 2020. I've been very thankful to our VP Education Sirish and the President Ajay Hiraska for giving me this opportunity and full freedom as a matter of fact, to conduct the contest as the way I envisioned it. And the team which supported me in conducting this entire contest, especially my own mentor and the PR chair, and of course the VP PR of Pune Advanced Toastmasters Club, Radha Anand, without whom I would not be able to done a single thing today. Anu, everything is to you. Thank you so much for being there and pushing me to my limits. Our committee members, Sirish, Deepika, and Vasudha for being selection committee chair, program chair, and registration chair respectively.